Did you know that most MSPs absolutely struggle with marketing? And even worse, more MSPs struggle with where to allocate their marketing budget to get the highest ROI, return on investment. Well, that ends in today's video. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com, and I want to help you allocate and just invest the right time, the right energy, the right money in marketing so you can grow your MSP as large as possible. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention just two quick things. Number one, if you haven't joined the Discord already, it's growth-generators.com/Discord. You can come in. It's a completely free community, but we would love to have you. It is it is crazy to even say that number, 900 members, and truly the feedback that we are getting just on the Discord. People helping people is tremendous. That's number one. Number two is I released a secret episode of only a podcast on the podcast. It's never going to go on YouTube. And every once in a while, I'm going to start dropping some really banger videos or banger podcasts on different platforms. If you really want to go check it out, this is how to start an MSP, especially succeeding in a niche. I would recommend going and checking it out. It's called the MSP Heroes Podcast. It's available on all platforms. You'll see our logo on there, but go check it out. Truly is an amazing episode. It's just me hanging out on my computer. It's about 45 minutes long of some of the best information I have ever released, completely free for you to access. And that's really it. So let's talk about allocating your budget, right? We all love the fake money here, but truthfully, you got to think about where you're going to invest your money. And regardless of how you want to think about it, time is money. So we're going to talk a lot about your money and the budget that you can allocate. And this budget could 100% also be swapped out with the word time because there is a lot that goes into it. Number one, we have to determine the total budget that we have, right? Is that a percentage of revenue? Is that a percentage of your time? What is that we are going to allocate? Now, for every MSP, it's going to be different. I wish I could just say, this is the right number, but it depends on where you're at. If you're in New York City, well, you're going to be spending a good bit more money. If you're out in the rural sticks of, I don't know, Tennessee, nothing against my friends over in Tennessee, it's going to be a lot cheaper to advertise. It also depends on who you're advertising and so many other factors. But first we have to figure out is what are you going to spend? Now, typically, I usually tell people a good starting marketing budget is what you can comfortably afford to lose. And I say that because you're going to have a lot of learning steps along the way. Now, if you go work with another company, you're looking at least a number with a comma and probably $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, and then growing from there. But we have to think about even before all of that. We have to break down where we're going to spend the money, where we're going to invest the time. Is this going to be ads? Is this going to be at events? Is this going to be on SEO? There's a ton of marketing activities that you can do. It could be creating content. It could be blogging, SEO, pay-per-click, ads, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, podcasting. The list truly goes on and on. But we have to figure out where you're either currently spending the money or where you'd like to spend the money. And then the last part of this is we have to go through and find the importance of tracking ROI. We do want to see some kind of an investment. Now, in some cases, that ROI might not be a complete financial return on investment, but it could be leads, which will eventually turn into ROI. It could be attention, brand authority, brand building, all of those areas. But even before all of this, and I know you're probably like, Harrison, come on already. Trust me, bear with me. There's a lot to go through in this video. But before I do, hit that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell. We have to go through the core marketing channels because there's a lot of really important things. We have paid advertising, which is really important. We have content marketing. We have social media, which is kind of content marketing, but there's also email marketing in there. Local networking events, website optimization are going to be the core ones that we could truly focus on. Now, for paid advertising, we have Google ads, we have LinkedIn ads, we have Facebook ads, all for lead generation. Now, a good budget of this is start with 20 or 30% of your total budget. Now, that means if you're spending or you have $1,000 in total budget, chunk out $200 to $300 of that. I'm going to use even numbers just so it's easy for everybody. Now, after that, we have content marketing, right? Investing in blogs, YouTube videos, case studies. You really want to focus on long-term growth, some SEO in there, which is really important. And for a good budget for this, allocating 15 to about 20%. Now, once again, this is going to be a lot of what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with spending a bit more in certain areas, or you know that something works better for you, then I would invest in that area. But if you know, hey, you know what, I'm not really set up for certain areas, then I would probably avoid investing your time, energy, effort, and money in those areas. But this is a full 100% budget. Next, we have social media and email marketing. Now, we could leverage organic social media posts, which are, you guessed it, free, which is always good. We could also highlight affordable tools, how to automate your businesses, and just building out a nurturing email campaign. Now, this budget's a little weird because there is a percentage to this budget, but there's also, depending on what system you're using and all of that. For example, if you're using the HubSpot Marketing Pro, it's like $800 a month. If you're using Go High Level, it's about $97 a month. If you're using Active Campaign, right? All of these play a different role. That budget could be anywhere between 10% and realistically 100%, depending on what system you're using. So it's a little hard to say, but I would try to keep that budget as low as possible, 10 to maybe 15%, especially if you have a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a LinkedIn post that does really well. Spending a little money on it could go a long way. Now, this is a big one that a lot of people don't think about all the time. But if you go to local networking events, and of course I had a business card on my desk and it is now gone. But if you go to local networking events, there is a cost associated with that. Now, some people consider that an operating budget. Some people consider that their sales budget or their marketing budget. But you could go to your local chamber of commerce, right? There is a cost usually associated with joining, but you usually get a couple times to go for free. Your local BNI, your local tip. Your local BNI could be several $1,000s per year. It's not going to break the bank, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get an ROI on your money, but you do have to spend something. That could range dramatically between 15 to 25, maybe even 30%, depending on the size of your MSP. And for some of you guys out there, it might be a fraction of that. But you could also get into sponsorships. A great place to start with sponsoring is your local chamber of commerce, IT or specific technology related events. There's a lot of opportunities there to get the right eyeballs on your business. You just have to figure out, is it going to have the best ROI out there? But I always recommend getting out in the public's eye as often as possible. It's going to help you tremendously. And last but not least, website optimization. I think that this is probably one of the most slept on things. Now, I understand we are MSPs. There is a lot that goes on in our world. There's a lot of technology. There's a lot of things to think about. I totally understand that. But we want to make sure that we invest in the website, getting it to have things like a simple adding calls to action that are going to work, adding live chats, adding landing pages that are going to work, and constantly analyzing and reinvesting back into it. Now, I would recommend at least their bare minimum 10%. And this could also be SEO, page speed, page load speeds. All of these things are super important. But this could also be 10% all the way up to, I would even say potentially 30 to 40% of your budget. But I would say at the bare minimum, 10%. Always be optimizing and making your website better, just because it's going to be the cornerstone of everything that somebody goes to when you're at a sales meeting, when you're at a networking event, when they visit you online, when they see your social media posts. It is the cornerstone of all of those things. So investing a budget on there is super important, and probably the only one I would put in this list as a non-negotiable. It is always important to consistently be investing in your website. Now, we also have to think about another aspect. I know, bear with me, it's a lot of information. New versus existing customers. There's two types of advertising out there. We have acquisition, right, where we want to get new leads, new customers to come into our business to hopefully buy from us. But there's also a flip side of that. We got to keep our current clients. Now, thankfully, in the MSP world, when we get a new client, that client is going to stick around between 7 and 20 years. It is the only industry in the world, I think, that has a retention of that length, and it is incredible. But we have to think about a couple different things. Where we're investing that money. Are we looking to acquire new customers? Is that ads, outreach campaigns, specific marketing strategies that we want to employ? Or are we looking to keep and retain our clients? It's important to make sure that our clients see us on a regular basis. They might not be looking to continuously spend more money, but it is nice when they can see our stuff. And it doesn't have to be ads in front of them. Yes, email marketing is important. Account management is important. Bringing them out or inviting them to events. But some of my favorite things to do, mouse pads. Oh my goodness. Mouse pads and coffee cups, because everybody in the office, for the most part, drinks coffee, and everybody in the office should have a mouse pad. It is your branding on their desk 24/7, 365. It should live there. Mouse pads are dirt cheap, and it reinforces over and over and over again the company that is there to save them in a technological pinch. That is one of my absolute favorite things. Now, I've covered a lot in this, right? Where to invest, things to think about, how much of your budget to allocate to certain areas, but we all love the tools and technology. Now, I'm not going to pull up any screens here for you guys, but I am going to tell you guys to do a little bit of homework and to leverage some of these tools because they are super important. I like Go High Level, as you guys already know. There's an affiliate link down below. HubSpot is another fantastic platform. It is pretty expensive, though, as you start to get more and more features. You guys already know I love Ubersuggest. Just to analyze keyword research, traffic, helps you with your SEO. Google Analytics, Google Search Console are some of my absolute core favorites. Now, there's tons of other tools that you can get. One of my other favorite ones at the time of releasing this video is a software called Happier Leads. It tells you who's visiting your website, which helps tremendously. Things like that, they might not be the standard tools, but it's something super helpful to know. And that's part of dedicating your marketing budget to. It's really important to think about these things, right? We have to make sure that we invest in good tools, just like we invest in great tools for our customers. It's important to invest in great tools for our own business. And then you want to consistently keep adjusting. I would love to lie to you and say, hey, this is the right amount and this is what you should be spending. Leads on average, and you guys know I love to leave my golden nuggets all the way till the end, is on average $500 to $600 to $700 per warm lead for an MSP. So that means you have to spend $1,000 to $1,500 to get 2, maybe 3 leads for your business. And if you're a really good salesperson, you're lucky if you're closing 2 of those. So it's important. You are going to feel like you are lighting money on fire for a very long time. And that's okay. It's learning, it's practice, it's building that up, or it's finding the right person to hire, finding the right agency to hire, understanding who your target customer is. Some of the biggest mistakes I consistently see in the space is investing too much money in one area without diversifying. They're neglecting the website. Oh my goodness. They write the content, but the website is awful. I'm not saying you need a beautiful, highly aesthetic website, but you do need a website that can get found on Google, that is enjoyable to use, and has good information for your target customers. And the worst out of all of these is tracking ROI, especially on each channel. Now, I'm guilty of this. I don't track ROI as tightly as I could, but there is so much opportunity. Track ROI on YouTube, on social media, on your website, where people are coming in, how they're coming in. Tools like HubSpot and Go High Level will show you the pages that they visited, where they're coming in from, how they're getting there, what they opened. This is really important. It gives you better data for your own business to make better data-driven decisions, which is really, really important. So some tips that I want to leave you off with, other than hitting that like, subscribe button, and that notification bell, is start small. I know I talked about a lot of stuff, where to allocate, who to allocate it to, the different types of marketing, but we have to think about it and invest where we feel comfortable and start small. I don't expect every MSP out there to go drop $1,000 on every single marketing strategy. Start with where you feel comfortable. In many cases, a lot of people feel comfortable doing the free stuff, which is social media, doing email marketing, which is almost free, nearly, if not free. And then last but not least, just investing a little bit of money into maybe Facebook ads, Google ads, and some money into SEO where you feel necessary and where you think you can have some wins. Do some competitor analysis. See where your competitors are spending money and either try to fight them or go into a different area and regularly review your stuff. This is not a set it and forget it. What works today might not work in 3-6 months from now, or even 2 weeks from now if things change. It's important to keep going through and seeing what's working and what's not working. A/B test as much as you possibly can to get the highest possible conversion rates, and I promise you, you will succeed. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. If you found some value in this video, I would highly recommend checking out our membership, MSP Heroes. I will leave a link down below to that. Love the heck out of you guys. I'll see you guys in the Discord. And maybe if you listen to the podcast episode, heck, you guys are animals. I love it. Some of you guys are writing first, best comment, whatever it is. I love to see it down below. But if you do listen to the podcast episode, let me know your thoughts on it. I would really appreciate some feedback on that. Love the heck out of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.